In such areas, it is best that we have something which is totally independent of, a water reservoir, air pressure reservoir, or electricity. So we're going to talk about this product in a short while. But before that, I would like to tell you a little about Ceasefire. Ceasefire is India's largest and fast emerging global brand for firefighting solutions. So where can you find Ceasefire products? Actually anywhere, whether it is hospitals, educational institutions, hospitality units, the manufacturing units, factories, airports, etc. So you name the premise and Ceasefire can be used or is being used there. Technology and quality happen to be our bywords. We are a majorly research-oriented company, and we totally get into upgrading ourselves, not only in terms of newer products to be brought in to fill gaps in the market, but also to bring in all those kinds of changes to our existing products to make them even more effective. So when you're talking about any product, like for the example, the product that we are talking about now, Pranav will also talk to you about a change that we are bringing into this particular product to make it more effective for our users. Well, we are headquartered in India. However, we are fully operational in UK as well. We have our training center, our office, and of course, we are supporting our business associates there who cater to the requirements of their end users. Our solutions are sold in Bahrain, Qatar, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, Congo, Nepal, Bhutan, Indonesia, and Sri Lanka. But our sales teams plays majorly a consultative role. So it is not that they go to do a sale. You see, we've got to make you understand where the product can be used. Why is it needed? What is the behavior of fire? Fire is of different types, as we all by now would know. So each different type of behavior has a behavior pattern that one needs to understand when building in a solution for it. All of us in the company make sure that when we are talking to our customers, we do not try to sell a product, but we try to tell them why a particular product is required, or a type of product is required for a given premise. Of course, added to these are other strengths that add to the pillars that this company has. We have a complete range of firefighting product under one umbrella, an extensive research-based product development system. We have highly competent in-house design team. So not all products are standalone products that you pick them up and you can just directly use them. A number of the products need to be customized as per the premise. Plus, at the same time, they have to be designed according to the complete premise which is there. We manufacture our own products in our manufacturing facilities, and we have the state-of-art test labs and demo facilities. All of this is a must because, as we all know, fire does not wait for an invitation to start. The sooner we fight fire, the faster we can kill it, we can subdue it, because the more time we give fire, the faster it can grow, it can spread and cause a lot of damage, not just directly, but also collateral damage through whatever the means of putting out the fire are used. Now, what are the different ranges we have? I'll quickly tell you a little about that before we move on to our products, the product today. So let's start with the very, very common fire extinguishers: water, powder, carbon dioxide, foam. These are some very popular and very common fire extinguishers. However, they're used, and there's nothing wrong in using any one of these. But we need to understand today, we do not only look at lives being saved, we also look at our property, our premise being secured and safe from not only fire, but also the damage that is caused due to the firefighting exercise that happens. So imagine that you're using you are in a setup where there are a lot of computers, and you end up using water to put out a fire in that premise. What will happen due to fire is one part of the damage. What will happen due to water is the collateral damage, which will be a bigger cost for you as well. So here we have, apart from these common core products, very important products, we have a range of products which are specialized. So we will have products like the B plus, which is for class B fires. That means your petrol, diesel, etc. Best suited for that. We have the complete range of clean agent. These are gases which put out fires effectively, but leave no residue, and therefore are very, very good for areas which are called clean areas, where you cannot afford to use powder, where you cannot use foam or water. So they do not leave any kind of a residue. Now, apart from the clean agents, we have wet chemical suited for the kitchen. One amazing technology that we use in ceasefire, that we brought into the country, is a product, or is a technology known as atomization. What is this? We all understand water. Now, water has the best property. One of the properties that water has to put out fire, it can cool the surface which is on fire, and therefore bring down the temperature so that the fire does not exist. It gets suffocated and it dies. It cools down and dies. So now, apart from the fact that it has a cooling property, until and unless water covers the fire surface area, the area which is on fire, it will not be able to do its work efficiently. So what atomization does is that it breaks every single drop of water into minute drops, therefore covering more surface area. When more surface area is covered, more cooling, more evaporation happens, which automatically means that the fire is handled or controlled much faster. So the product that is in the the product we are going to talk about today uses this method, that is the atomization method. And we have a range of these products, starting from the handheld fire extinguishers to the amazing trolley mounted and backpacks like Action Pack CAFs. We have the mighty quad and the tetra quad, which are huge fire extinguishers meant they are trolley mounted, and they can be dragged from one place to the other very effectively to put out large fires. We also look at firefighting systems. Let me talk about three different kinds of systems here. My first system that I would like to talk to you about are the microenvironment systems. Small areas, small panels. Now, if you want to put out fires from these panels, it becomes a little difficult, because the challenge is you cannot see the fire till it actually is flared up. Most of these things are closed, so there's an enclosed space, there's a cabinet which is closed. You do not even get to know till the fire flares, because at the very maximum, what you'll see trickling out is a little smoke. By the time you see there's a lot of smoke, damages happen. So we have systems which work automatically, like what we call as the KING, the CQRS, Ceasefire Quick Response System, the Ceasefires Mini. We have such products which can be fitted into the cabinets, and they will fight the fire as and when the fire happens. We have specialized fire extinguishers which can also work as systems in the form of a launcher, and our ceiling mounted fire extinguishers which work automatically as well. Now, we have a kitchen suppression system. In the kitchen suppression system, we use a method which is using the wet chemical. So that's a chemical way of putting out fire. Well, that does put out the fire very efficiently, but can cause a little amount of lag of time to clear the area, and maybe a little collateral damage as well. But at the same time, we also use Watermist. Now, surprisingly, we use water to put out kitchen oil fires. So when the superheated cooking oils catch fire, we use the technology of Watermist, that is atomization, is used to put out kitchen fires as well. We have used the same technology of Watermist to put out fires in generators, transformers, in large corridors, or any machinery for that matter. But there are certain places where you would rather use a gaseous method of putting out fire, even when it is customized. It's a large suppression automatic system. So we have systems in the microenvironment range, as well as total flooding. Total flooding is when you fill up the complete room with a particular gas or a particular agent to put out fire wherever the fire is in that particular premise, in that particular room. And so we have systems which use products like your clean agents, your carbon dioxide, inert gases. So all of these can be used to put out fire, which we call as total flooding, filling up a complete room to ensure every nook and cranny where there's fire, fire is put out. We have the, so this is fire suppression. We have fire alarm systems. We have the evacuation systems in the form of signages. You must have seen a lot of these signages in the malls, picture halls, where when you go in, you see exit signs. In certain places, you will see assemble here, various things. Wherever you see there is a fire extinguisher, you may have a small signage above showing that the fire extinguisher is below this area. All these signages become very useful when evacuating. Apart from that, we also have firefighting gear with us. So with this huge range of products under one umbrella, it becomes very easy for our consultants. So I'm not going to call them salespeople, for our consultants to look at your premise and give you a 360-degree solution. They will not limit themselves to say fire extinguishers. They will look at the complete picture and give you a complete solution. Now, all this that we do, like I said, is very quality oriented. And to top this, to gauge ourselves, ceasefire constantly moves on and touches base with various certifying agencies across the globe, not just India, but across the globe. And we have a number of certificates to our name, to the name of our products. For example, apart from the Indian certificates which follow the IS norms, we also have European certificates, we follow norms like EN3, EN 1866, MED, PED, MED being Marine Equipment Directive, PED being Pressurized Equipment Directive. All our cylinders are pressurized, of course, if you want the agent to flow out. And all of these, that means these different agencies that we meet with that means there are products, by virtue of the fact that we have gone through the complete testing procedure with them, our products carry the ISI, LPCB, CE and kite mark. A total production capacity of approximately 5 lakh products per annum, with approximately 5 lakh unique customers, and we keep adding about 3,000 customers every month, repeat customers and new customers. We are a company which has, we are ISO company. Our manufacturing unit, it complies to OSAS, and we have ISO 9001 certified as well. Now, let me take you, my friends, my viewers, let me take you to the product as such. The king for today is a product which is known as CF3000. What is this product? This product is an amazing standalone system which contains a lot of water, about 60 kgs of 60 liters of water in a tank, and it contains enough nitrogen to make this water, to throw this water out on the fire in the form of water mist, that is the small droplets of about 40 microns. Now, this is a standalone unit. It's got a huge cabinet. I'll show you a demonstration just now that Pranav has done, wherein you will be able to see the equipment with your own eyes, and you'll see that this is a standalone system. It is ready to use. Everything is built in within the system. It is very, very safe. It uses clean drinking water and where required, foam. Easy to use. One person can use it. It can be used both in the spray as well as in the jet mode, as Pranav will show you in the demonstration. And it has a long throw. That means you can fight the fire from a distance and then maybe move closer once the fire has become smaller to finally kill the fire. So Pranav, would you like to tell us a little about this product before I get into the video?
Thank you, Kaveri. Hello, viewers. Kaveri, I will jump right into it. The CF3000 can be considered as a standalone firefighting unit with applications and usage similar to a hydrant system. Now, this is a fixed capacity system with a 60-liter water content. As Kaveri has already told you, now this Watermist generation technology is the twin fluid technology. Now, in this system, what happens is that you have a nozzle which has two kind of specific inputs. That is, one is nitrogen, another is water, and two specific outputs, that is nitrogen and water. Now, what happens is that we take low pressure nitrogen, about 5 bar, and then we pass it through this nozzle, and this pressurized nozzle accelerates this 5 bar pressure nitrogen to Mach 3 speed. That is 3 times the speed of sound. Now, when air exits this nozzle, in reference to or in comparison to static air around it, is moving very fast. Now, this fast movement causes reverberation in the air stream. So the air stream vibrates at a very high frequency. And when you introduce water into it or very small quantities of water into it, it is particulated. That means it gets turned into very small particles, about 25 to 80 microns. Depending on foam addition or water alone, this can go up to a range of about 150 microns or 135 microns in general with foam addition. So what's happening over here is that you have the ability to fight fire with the capabilities and usage or advantages of a standalone hydrant system. We wouldn't call it exactly a hydrant system, but we will call it a standalone hydrant system. In this system, you have a nitrogen cylinder, which is a propellant tank. This is of 68 liter at 300 bars. This propellant does two jobs. One, to provide the air on which the water reverberates and breaks down into small particles. Secondly, it is also the force which is used to exit water and air from the nozzle. It has a 30-meter hose through twin hose through which water and nitrogen reaches the nozzle. Now, if we were to understand how this is happening, you take 300 bar pressure, reduce it to 5 bar using a pressure regulator. And this 5 bar is then split into two portions. One portion goes into driving up water from the water storage tank. The other portion goes directly to the nozzle at 5 bar, a regulated 5 bar supply. Now, the water which exits the tank is fed back through a or via a foam pump and then fed to the hose and then out of the nozzle. So there's a foam pump available in the system which can be switched on and switched off. It is factory set at 2% mix quantity. There's a 5-liter foam content available in the CF3000 cabinet. So as and when the water flows, whatever speed it is flowing at, it automatically induces the 2% foam requirement into the water stream. Now, the amazing part of the system is that on the nozzle itself, we have a switch or we have a lever, which allows you to switch between foam and mist. So the content or the amount of foam that exists in the nozzle can be controlled by using this lever. So just imagine that you have a B-class fire and you require foam. So you are inducing more foam in it. So you can completely shut down the foam intake and use the advantage. You can use the advantage of foam intake, sorry, not shut down, to switch on the foam pump and use the foam to do your B-class firefighting. In case you have an A-class firefighting, you can completely shut down the foam and keep your lever only on the mist generation. So here, if you see, this is a slight different and advantage over standalone 50-liter or 60-liter large size cylinders, which have a limited hose range of only 5 meters. Here you have a 30-meter hose, far reaching, helps you to go above obstacles and choose the content or the agent you want to use. water or water mist. So this is what CF3000 is all about. Kaveri.
Yeah, I think it'll be very useful if at this time I can show them the product through the demonstration that we had done. So users, just bear with us while I play the video for you. And this, I will show you two videos. One wherein you will see the explanation or you can look at the product. And the second where we will showcase to you the actual throw of this particular product. So let me take you through these two videos. Pranav, do let me know if you can hear the voice properly, right?
Sure.
Hello viewers, today we have the CF3000 systems with us. This is the twin fluid technology of Watermist. Let's look at some of the components of CF3000. We have a 68 liter 300 bar nitrogen cylinder over here. This is actuated by a manual actuator. Then we have a valve on top of this cylinder which is with a working pressure of 300 bar. The output of the valve is connected to a pressure regulator. This pressure regulator reduces 300 bar pressure to 5 bar pressure. 5 bar pressure is split into two parts. One part goes to the nozzle directly. The other part goes to the water chamber at the bottom. The water cylinder will have 60 liters of water in it. The output of this water comes through a regulated supply at 4 to 5 bar and it goes to a foam pump. The foam sucks this pump. The pump sucks this foam from this reservoir. The output of the pump goes as a second input to the nozzle. Here we have a Fen 233 nozzle, which means it has 2 water orifices, 3 air orifices, and 3 cubic meter per minute of requirement. If you look in front, these miniature holes are your air holes, and on either side of this we would have nitrogen coming out at 3 Mach pressure. At 3 Mach speed and 5 bar pressure, the air reverberates at a very high velocity. When it reverberates, the water which comes in contact with this air is particularized and we will get water particles in the sense of about 80 microns. Now, if we want foam induced into the system, we have a separate lever on the side which we can turn to suck in foam, or we can just use mist. On the pump itself, we have an on-off switch. So if you want to switch off your pump, it will not obstruct your water mist flow. At present, it is in the on condition. Now, let me explain how water mist works. We are trying to increase the surface of water to absorb as much heat as possible from as smaller area as possible. It is known that about 2.6 megawatts of energy is consumed to evaporate 1 liter of water in a second. This is the potential of water. So if we particularize water, we will increase the surface area and we will make the efficiency of water far greater, where water can quickly turn from liquid to gas as steam, and in this conversion it cools the surface of the fuel, and as it evaporates, the steam envelopes the fire zone, and as it envelopes the fire zone, no air can reach the top of the fuel. Now let's look at the operation of this system. Very simply, you have a safety seal on your manual actuator. This safety seal is pulled off. As this safety seal is pulled, this clutch lever can be switched on. Once we press this lever, the system will get activated and it will stop once the cylinder is empty. Okay, so before starting the system, the first thing you should do is to uncoil this 30-meter hose pipe. can now immediately remove the safety seal. Remove the safety seal. We have a rotation joint or coupling from hose and the nozzle, so you can easily move it about. Since we want foam to come out of this, we will keep it on foam. Now we just have to hold this, activate the system and aim at the base of the fire. So let's start a fire. The system would have an effective working time of about 4 minutes, which is quite ample time with mist, and especially with foam mist. The gun weighs about 2 kg, about 1.8 kg to be exact. We've put in fuel. I'm going to light a fire. So whenever you're fighting a fire, please be careful that you approach the fire from the side where the flames are moving away from you. This will keep you protected. And anyways, when mist is flowing, it gives you a shield from the heat from the flame. We let the fire grow a little. Let's see the actuation of the system.
So this was the first video where we are showing you the complete, the panel that is there, the cabinet which is there. As you can see, the cabinet houses the entire system. And it is a system. When I say the word system, it means a number of components that work together. It is designed to work in a standalone manner. So you can put it into areas like maybe malls, maybe manufacturing units, parking lots, residential areas, in the residential buildings which are there, where probably you cannot do plumbing and all and get a water hydrant system kind of a thing there. So you can place these cabinets at the right spots to ensure that in case there's a fire in that area, the fire can be fought through these. Let me show you another video which was being done for demonstration purpose, where you can actually see the flow, the throw of this particular product, along with the fact that it can work both in the form of a jet as well as in the form of a spray. So jet is when the throw is straight in the form of a straight jet, or what we call in Hindi as a dhar. And if I talk on top of a spray mode, then it is spread out. So normally, if I'm not mistaken, Pranav, you people use the jet mode, which can be done from a good distance to subdue the fire to a certain extent, and then you use the spray mode to finally put the fire out totally. Am I right?
Right. Absolutely right.
So just let me quickly take you to the second video now. So we are not showing a fire action here. We are just showing you the throw here.
मिस्ट में कर दे मिस्ट में कर
So you viewers, can you see the exact difference in the jet? It is a complete jet of water which is getting thrown out, though in the, in those, it's easier to put out the fire from a distance. And as you can see in this mist, you can see it becomes misty, the droplets are formed, and the, it is now much more efficient in putting out whatever fire is left. So let's look at this. Now completely used up. So this was our Watermist fire extinguishing system, which is a standalone hydrant system known as CF3000. Would you like to add some thing to this, Pranav? What is the throw? What is, when do you use the jet mode and things like that?
Okay, Kaveri, on a 300 bar cylinder, okay, the maximum throw which you'll be able to achieve with foam content would be around 10 meters, up to 10 meters. That will be the max. As and when the pressure goes down, you will obviously have a reduced throw. But with the mist, you will have somewhere around 5 meters. So what we have seen over here is a cylinder which was at about 100 or 100 bar or below. And this was only for flow test and leakage test while installation. So a full-fledged 300 bar should give you a better throw than what is seen over here. Secondly, the jet mode is basically your foam-induced system, where I'm looking at, to far reach and do firefighting from a distance, suppressing the fire and, reduce the radiating heat from the fire. And then, of course, I can buttons go close to the fire and use the mist form and totally inhalate the fire from a very closer distance and accuracy. Of course, with the hydrant system, you have the possibility of increasing and decreasing the foam content. So as you switch from foam to mist, that's one thing. But if you're, say, doing a purely A-class fire and you do not need foam, you can also switch off the foam pump and not have any foam coming across.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, and this can fight all kinds of fires, right? Including electrically started fires.
Yes, it will be taking care of A, B, C, E, electrically started fires, and even F-class fires. If you are totally into foam, mist, you'll be able to do F-class fire fighting also. So it's one and all, and it is the only system which, provides you both kind of inducement. There are very few products which can do that. And I don't think any of the portable or large size gives you that kind of a coverage where you have the option of inducing foam separately or stopping it altogether. So that's the major advantage with CF3000 system.
I also understand here, Pranav, that we have added an upgraded CF3000 to make it more user-friendly by giving it a unused cap on the nitrogen cylinder. Would you like to throw some light on that?
Okay, we've taken cue from our, a wheel-based or a lever-based CO2 high-pressure cylinders. So we've taken some of the USPs of that product where it is possible, there's no indication on these cylinders as to they have been used or not used, other than the seal being broken or removed and tampered with. So you have something called a non-tamperable indicator now introduced into the system, where the nitrogen cylinder will have a used, unused single slider system on the valve. it will have protection from the cold surface due to expansion of nitrogen. So no frost-free biting. And plus, you can also now stop the system. And it does not mean that you can save it and use it later, but it means to say that it won't be necessary now to completely empty out the whole cylinder. You can actually stop its operation in between and use as much as of water and foam you want to use, which can be replenished later on. And of course, the nitrogen cylinder will go on for refilling after that.
Alright.
This is one thing which we have added. Earlier, what used to happen was if we switched on the nitrogen cylinder, it will only stop post emptying out. So that has been allowed now. And supposedly, say on a single nitrogen charge, you want to do multiple trainings. So, you can have short bursts of nitrogen coming out and people using it at small intervals of time and training themselves on the usage of the system. So that is one thing that has been added into the CF3000. The lever operation has been done away with. So there'll be a slight procedural change as into operation. What you can do is remove the safety seal, open the valve on the nitrogen cylinder, and by the time you get the supply of water and foam reaching your nozzle, you can uncoil the hose as much as you want to reach the fire side. So that is something which we have allowed now.
So here we have a few questions, Pranav. What is the nozzle size? The system looks like a standpipe one, where you have a class 1 to 3 with different sizes. That is 1.5 inch. What is the size of the nozzle?
See, this nozzle is a specific nozzle which has been developed by us. It is called the twin fluid nozzle. Okay, and then nozzles by nozzle size, I can only give you that it is about 1.86 to 1.9 kg in weight. The nozzle will have a foam and a Watermist selection switch on it. No stop and start lever is available on this nozzle. The nozzle is called FEN, Fire Extinguishing Neutralization, or Fire Effective Neutralization, FEN. And the nomenclature which I had explained in the video, the 233 nozzle, which means that you have 2 water orifices which are surrounded by 3 air orifices. And if you were to look at only water from this nozzle, it comes out in a form of a tulip bulb, very little supply. So the 233 nomenclature means 2 water, 3 air, and 3 cubic meter per minute of air supply is required from this unit. So
these are not the regular nozzles you would see. This is a specific nozzle which is meant to generate twin fluid, using the twin fluid technology, the small droplets of water, or what we say as water mist.
Yes.
So we'll be very happy to do a demonstration for anybody who would like to come to our AI center and come and physically look at this product also. We'll be happy to do that for you. We have Mr. Vastu Chittam asking us, do we have any listing for this like UL or FM?
I cannot see that question. What is the question?
Do we have any listing for this like UL or FM?
No, Watermist technology has no such UL or FM approval on this system. What we have done is we've gone to ERDA, and from there we have taken certification as to non-conductivity of usage of this nozzle from 1 meter foam of water. So that is what we have.
So here you've answered some of the part what Ronak has asked us. He says, what is the foam capacity? Indian approval on the product, and can this product replace hydrant points?
See, foam capacity is 5 liter. I had already spoken to you about it in the video. There are no approvals as there's no standard for this kind of a product. And approval is majorly only your ERDA approval of non-conductivity as per EN 3-7. And this product cannot replace a hydrant point. We have a special morph gun which does that. This is mostly where, hydrant requirements are there, but
There's
you
not
want
enough
to
capacity
expand
of
on your
water.
existing hydrant capacity,
Yeah.
or you want to add on to it, or you are putting a special kind of product which will enhance your fire safety. Now imagine a place which has no electricity. No pumps can run it. You need a diesel genset. You need a piping. This system will do away with all such requirements and give you enhanced firefighting capability over and above your fire extinguishing capabilities. With a 30-meter hose, you can reach far off and areas behind obstacles. So this is where your CF3000 applications will be running. Because if you have to say it would replace a hydrant point, the definition of a hydrant point in the standard would be totally different from this, and it will not apply to it.
All right. So now we have another question which says, how do you monitor the water levels? As per the demo video, there is no level indicator or any other source. Please give us an update on that.
Okay, Kaveri, when we fill the water tank,
Yeah.
okay, we have a bleed valve on top of the tank. So when we fill the tank, we have to wait till water starts coming out of that bleed valve. It is pulled and kept in place, and we fill the water. And once the water comes through the bleed valve, that means the
Tank
water
is
in
full.
the tank is full now, because it is flowing above the tank and then flowing out. So this is how we make sure there's no air within the water tank. It is completely filled.
How would you monitor while you're using whether there's enough water or not?
This would be simple. I would connect a water connection again on the refill port and pull on the bleed tank to see if it's flowing out.
No, at the time when you're operating it.
At the time of when we are operating, we will wait till it to get empty.
Yeah, because the pressure will go low and the amount of
I'm
water
totally
that will
not
come out
concerned
will
as to how
reduce.
much water is left, because you have a 4-minute operation. And as you have seen in the video of throw, as soon as the air finished or the water finished, there was no output from the nozzle. So it stopped. So there's no requirement for monitoring how much water I have left. Okay. So
does this product make eligible to take NOC from government fire department?
No. As I told you, this is a non-standardized product. It is only for appreciation of your fire requirements. And mostly, if a government agency looks at it and finds that it is sufficient to do your firefighting, then probably they can give you NOC also. But if a hydrant system is required and it is recommended, then you have to put in a hydrant system. And then if you want mist, then it is a possibility. Then you can use our mist guns in front of the hydrant systems and then get the advantages of mist from there. So we have morph guns for that. I'm sure
We'll talk about those in one of our next sessions.
Yes.
Okay. So viewers, if there's any other question that we can respond to.
So Kaveri, while we're waiting them to think of another question or put it on, let me just expand on the hydrant system.
There are some questions that have come up, and can we clear those first? Can these products be used for live electrical applications, for transformer, etc.?
Yes, we have already mentioned the ERDA certificate and the non-conductivity. So yes, you can use it. Okay, can you integrate the system with firefighters' hydrant system where they will use to fight external fires? See, again, we have a separate applicator for that. That is the morph gun. So we, a couple of years back, did some demonstration for the Delhi Fire Service and other fire services where we attached our morph guns to their existing motor and hydrant system, and we were able to do firefighting. So we have a separate agenda of morph guns, which will be taken later on. We did two kind of demonstration there with the Watermist nozzles. We have three kind of Watermist nozzles, and also the fire curtain nozzles, which is another very interesting product. And I will leave it to you with a little
For the
bit
next time that we do a
for the
session.
next time we do
Okay,
this.
so here we have a couple of more questions that have come up. Can we integrate this system with firefighting hydrant system where they'll be used to fight the external fires? Like Pranav just said, we have certain specialized guns which can be used with the external hydrant systems, which will convert the normal water into the droplet form, which is what we call as water mist. Apart from that, we have another product. Now, so if you look at the CF3000, it's a small built-in with a cabinet standalone system product. We similarly have another product that we call a CF2000, which acts like a complete fire suppression system in the same way as a water hydrant would. Difference being that our CF2000 happens to convert water into the mist form. It needs a large reservoir of water or a certain size reservoir of water, depending on the size of the premise. And it also needs a mechanism through which we can feed compressed air into it. So once you have those two, it becomes easy to use a water hydrant system, which in a way is unlimited. However, the product that we are talking about today is a product which is for a given premise where it is not possible to do plumbing, it is not possible to have another water reservoir, and you need to take it to a specific area, and the area around it can be then safeguarded through it. So CF3000 is not a replacement for the hydrant systems which are outside the buildings. You can look at CF3000 for that. You can look at our morph guns, which we'll talk about in one of our next sessions. These are amazing water mist guns, which allow you to convert the regular water into water mist. So you can look at those then. There's a gentleman here who has asked me to show the video again. May I request you, sir, to please send me your email ID, and I will be happy to share the link of the video with you. All right. Rahul wants to understand the working once again. So Rahul, it is, Pranav, very briefly, can we take him through the working once more before we end up for the day?
Well, it's pretty simple. We have a nozzle with two kinds of inputs to it. Okay, one is nitrogen and the other is water. And the output from your nozzle is also the same, nitrogen and water. They do not mix inside the nozzle. They are two separate. That is why it's called a twin fluid system. Two inputs, two specific outputs. Now, as the water exits the nozzle, okay, it is accelerated by means in the special situations within the nozzle to a Mach 3 speed. That is 3 times the speed of sound. Okay, at that high velocity, reverberations are created in the air. So if you understand that you have static air, and through the static air you have air going at a very high velocity, then what happens is that low pressure is created on either side of your jet stream. So this causes the air to reverberate over both the sections. Okay, so as the air reverberates and water comes in contact with these reverberations or shaking of your nitrogen, then what happens is it actually beats the water down into very small particles. If you were to understand what breaking down of water means, it beats it down. Okay, so as this water gets particularized, it turns into from a stream into very small particles of water. It is then applied on top of the fire. Now, with small particles, what you do is you increase the surface area of water. And as the water surface area increases, you have more area to absorb heat. So say if I were to take a tip of my finger, okay, and this is one water particle. Just think of this as one water particle, okay? So I can absorb heat only from this surface and nothing around it. But if I were to break this water particle into 5 water particles like this, okay? So now I have 5 half surfaces over which I can absorb heat. And then imagine doing this 400 times. So as this water particle keeps on breaking down to such minute sizes, okay, they have a dispersion. Now, with the dispersion, what happens is you cannot have, say, can you have 2.6 megawatts at one point? It's going to be about if 1 liter of water, if it's spread around on 2.6 megawatts of point energy, it will evaporate from there. But do you have that kind of a concentration in any of your fires? It is fast spread. So you want to also disperse the water as per the requirement of the heat source and see that you make the water evaporate. Now, why do I want my water to evaporate? See, without inducing any kind of energy to raise the temperature of water, if I want to evaporate it, this is got the latent heat of evaporation. So what I'm trying to do over here is infuse enough heat into the water to change its state from water to gas. And this is the maximum work which is done without having wasting any energy into increasing the temperature of water. Okay. Now, in turn, what am I doing? Once I've evaporated water, it turns into steam. What does steam do? Steam is an inertization agent. It is an agent which does not react with anything. The steam will envelop the fire surface and it will not allow oxygen to reach the surface of the fire. So this will smother the fire. So you have, what kind of actions you are having? You have the very biggest thing, which is the cooling down of fire, because we have already learned. You have oxygen, water, and heat. Oxygen, fuel, and heat, which causes fire. But with oxygen and fuel, it is the addition of excess heat that causes fire. Right? So if I remove the heat factor, you have automatically sufficiently extinguished your fire without any the risk of reignition. Okay, I hope that I've explained enough.
All right, we have some more statements which have come up. Just give me a moment.
AFFF is what we use, and the expansion ratio is going to be as a normal. It's not a high expansion AFFF. It's normal AFFF. Mr. Sandeep Kapoor, for cost, you can write to response@ceasefire.in or go to our website and put in a request, and the cost can be shared at that point. Which standard does the system follow? Watermist follows NFPA 750. See, NFPA 750 is Watermist requirement, but that is for a whole installation of Watermist. It is not for a hydrant system. Okay.
All right, so gentlemen and our esteemed colleagues and CBAs and our customers, we can always keep responding to your questions, and we'll be very happy to respond to them. Please keep putting them onto the Facebook, and we will be happy to give you responses as we read your questions. So the time for this session is up. Thank you so much for being a part of the session. And thank you so much, Pranav, for being here as our subject matter expert to give us a good understanding of the product.
Thank you, Kaveri.
Have a very good day ahead.
Thank you so much, and same to you. Please note we have Rahul.Verma who wants to see the video again from.
I know I've taken his number. I will send it to.
Thank you so much. Thank you again, viewers, and hope to see you next time again. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.